Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, we're going to be carrying on with the Marianas turkey shoot play by email today. There we go. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, well, we're going to take a look at the actual turn save here, then the turn resolution, I should say. Take a look at how that's looking, and we'll be good to go from there. Now, I've found a website to actually try and download some different copyright-free music. I'm going to be adding more onto it as we go on. So I've only got 2 new tracks here at the moment, but yeah, I think what I'm going to do here then is try and find a bunch of new copyright-free tracks, and then God, because I mean, I'd love to find 2 and 3 music, but it has been drilled into my brain. So we'll try and find some additional music, but let's go ahead and take a look at the actual turn here then, shall we? Now, we've had some good success with the actual submarines, let's see if that continues. Oh, okay, so we actually do gain control of that island, and so see that's ungarrisoned. That's quite nice, actually. Might give us what we need there to transfer our aircraft to the Marshals, really. Possibly. Right, what do we have here with Barb? Yep, torpedo hits there. That is a destroyer tender. Very nice. Yeah, that's another torpedo into her there. Perhaps a third one if we are lucky. Yep, a third, maybe a fourth. Yep. She's not going to be long for this world here. Interestingly enough, this is the Barb attacking on the surface here, so that's quite good then. Right. I mean, that's 3 torpedo hits there into the Koshima Ruse, so I don't think she's going to be coming back from that one, is she? Yep, and she does go down. The submarines have been doing very well so far. Ideally, we can keep that up. Now, I do have a submarine over the saipan that does need to escape. Ideally, they can. But it was good that actually did hit the patrol boat that was carrying potentially, was carrying elements of a tank regiment. So that was quite good. Worked out well enough for us, didn't it? Ooh, we have another target over here. Yep, there's another hit there. Fantastic, this is Silversides. Vehicle lost aboard here then, so only 1 torpedo hits. I'm going to say that's probably, or at least possibly from truck. It might have been from elsewhere, but I'm going to say perhaps truck at this time here. But that was a very good hit there. I don't think she'll go down, but she's taken a torpedo there, so... Oh, she does go down, wow. Yeah, that's not a good result for him. He's actually had some difficulties trying to move some of these vehicles around. So that's very good then. Our submarine patrols have been pretty effective so far. Okay, we do see a number of Japanese submarines around the Marshals. Yeah, we see Japanese forces out at sea there as well. Okay, the Liberator's coming in over track here. I do believe that we did lower the altitude. Now, they are taking some damage here from the flak. But it looks to be relatively light flak anyhow. And this is the issue with the Japanese. Their flak is just never that good. Never that accurate. Okay, so 7 of the 8 were damaged. We can repair that damage, but obviously if we're actually doing the damage, it's worthwhile. Yeah, that was about 12,000 feet there. Right, 36 of them heading over here to Wake. Yeah, there is some flak over here, but we'll go ahead. Only 1 of them is damaged here, but yeah, that is a very effective attack run there. I could consider actually lowering the altitude even further to potentially 6,000 feet, maybe about 6,000 feet, maybe 7, possibly 6 to 8,000 feet. But nice hit on the actual runway there. Yep, more Liberators coming in here. Yep, and some more. Okay. Right, airphase PM. So it looks as if he does actually have submarines around the area, but the good news is we do have a lot of air power there, and a hell of an escort. Yep, reported hit there, that's very good. SW is doing its job. Okay. Angler, what has she found here? Right, the escort, Maishima. Anything else, perhaps? Right, so that looks like a cruiser mine layer. Is it coastal? I can't quite remember what the C stands for. But it's definitely a mine lane vessel or a mine tender of some nature. Would have been obviously good to have hit that, but alas. The submarines have done well this turn. They have done well. Whoops. Didn't mean to actually close the game there. So we'll open the game back up then and get right back into the actual turn. I don't think it's going to take us too long to actually finish finish this turn, really. The submarines are continually doing well, so that's quite good for us. It's a good result, as we always like. Okay, so here we go. We'll get right into this. Yeah, just look at that trail. I mean, my lord, that is a lot of forces there. So let's see here. So we've got the Saipan Amphibious headquarters. So they've set out here. Destroyer escorts, we do have a Saipan landing forces over here. The AMs are already running a little bit low in endurance, but obviously we can have them fed as we go on. I've actually found out why it wasn't loading as I believed it should have. I think the issue is due to the fact that we're going in amphibious mode here. Well, obviously you can load your forces up in amphibious mode. They're able to be loaded up in combat mode. But if you load them up in transport mode, for example, it's the most efficient. Obviously it means that they have to unpack once they do arrive there, but it's the most efficient means of actually having them transported. It's like the way it works is like with amphibious mode, obviously the troops are ready for combat, so you can imagine they've got all their equipment with them, and obviously that is not going to be exactly efficiently stored, is it, if it has to be made ready for use in a quick turnover. Okay, so you've loaded up there. Very good. Plenty of these LCIs. Yeah, with the guns here as well. Very nice. I mean, these rockets, not exactly spectacular. We do have these fringe guns over here, but again, not exactly spectacular. They're just there just to give a little bit of extra suppression on the actual beachheads. Okay. So we should be able to actually move out shortly. .38th Aviation Base Force over here. Yep, the CBs. We're going to need those in Inuatok really, and just in other islands, obviously, to build it up. Do have the 16th US CBs over here as well. Yeah, USN Naval Construction Battalion. There we go. So they're not CBs, but they do pretty much the same thing. I love the look of these American LSDs. They look amazing. I don't know what it is about it. I just think it looks so smooth, so sexy. Right, so everything's making its way out there. Let's go ahead, and we did see submarines around here. No, actually it was the Marshall Islands that we saw them, so perhaps we've actually sunk them in this area. But we did have a hit over here, didn't we? So let's go ahead and take a look at the combat report again. So Barb takes down the Koshu Maru. It did sound as if the ship over here had gone down. I was going to try and pronounce that name, but I thought best not. Yeah, it sounded like she'd gone down. Yeah, Kurosaki would have been nice to have hit her. Obviously, had a escort assigned to her. Let's go to our operations report here. So we do gain control of Malawep, or Malap, something of that nature. Right. So submarines around Johnson Island, it seems. Obviously around the Marshalls. Now, aircraft sighted over Inuatok. Supposedly Japanese carrier aircraft sighted over Inuatok. I'm going to assume that is the D4Y1 Judy's. He will have some of those. Right, Japanese submarines reported hit. That's very good. Yeah, the Mariner from VP-17 attacking Japanese SS at 129, 113. Okay. Oil slick at 129, 113. So that does indicate damage then, as far as we can say. Transport and supplies to Johnson Island. Unit Pacific Fleet changes name to the Pacific Ocean Areas. Johnson Detachment changes name to 16th Marine. 11th KNIL. 10th KNIL. North Sumatra changed his name to the 3rd Dutch. Timor changed his name to 2nd Dutch. Actually, quite a few name changes here, that's cool. We do actually have some additional units arrived, so another minesweeper has arrived at Pearl Harbor. Okay. First Burma changed his name to the 39th Indian. Okay, that's rather intriguing, man. Yeah, we do see Japanese submarines around here. Interestingly enough, it looks like he's got these guys operating in pairs and these ones operating as single, which is intriguing. Ponape. Right, 3 auxiliary aircraft over at truck. At least we're not wasting our time as such when it comes to actually bombarding it. It's a shame that the USN submarines don't have any search aircraft. Right, couple ships over here then. I'm going to continue the, I suppose the submarine blockade around Babal Dawab and Peleliu. But yeah, let's see. We'll have you swing down to the south there, so that's going to be Hardo. Have you swing down there. We do have plenty more submarines around here, so we're looking good nonetheless, really. I wonder why we don't see animation of plane attacks and subs. Yeah, it would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? You're right on that one, I'd like to see that. But hey, at least we get the actual attacks, don't we? So can't complain too much. Hope you're doing well there, Salty. Okay. Yep, you're on a short patrol path over here then. Additional submarines on their way. Yep, Growler and a Haki. Or Hake. I'm used to pronouncing things like in a Japanese way now, so... Oh dear. Right, what I'm going to do then is actually set up a patrol pattern. And let's say that we were to start a truck. I'm worried that he may have something coming from truck. It probably is already left by now. So let's say it was heading to Saipan. So it would run, yeah, along that sort of line there. I mean, we could potentially patrol that pattern. I don't think we'll lose too much by doing that. At least it is covering that possibility of another convoy moving around that way. So yeah, we'll set that up. Oops, set it the wrong way around, didn't I? Okay. Around better truck. And yeah, just on the outskirts of Saipan and Tinian. So you'll run that. And I think I'll have the Growler, what a name, run it in the opposite. Okay. Which way are we starting with? So you're starting down at 117. Oh, 1111. Yep, 107. Okay, Growler's going to go the other way. I think it's worthwhile to have this sort of patrol just on the off chance that we do pick anything up. Okay, to bound there as well. There we go. So if I take a look at that, yep, that's a nice coverage. It's a pretty tight coverage around this area. We do have additional submarines as well over here. So what I'll do then, split them up, so Harder and Jack. And I could obviously have the submarines operate together, but what I'm trying to do here then is just spread out our patrol patterns at this moment in time. Right, there we go. Mission speed would be nice. Don't want to spend all that fuel. Then I'll have a patrol from the island over here between itself and truck. It's just on the off chance that we do actually catch something. Right, mission speed here. Mission speed here. Check on these guys. Mission speed and yeah. There we go, mission speed. That's what I need. Okay, well that's looking good there. Now the aircraft are going to continue to, I mean what I'm going to do here then is just annihilate the actual airfield at Wake. I don't want him to be able to use it against us really. It's a case of, I mean, I could potentially land on the island, but there is, I mean, it's in about 480 troops there, but I think we sorted it up to a region about, I don't know, somewhere between a couple of hundred and maybe 2,000, something around that sort of area. But I think I'm going to bypass Wake track. Ponape could be quite nice, considering it has a size 2 airfield. A little bit damaged here at the moment. Not a huge amount of ground forces. But I think I'd like to bypass it and take control of this island over here. And I could potentially use the Guam landing force to do that. We will see. Now I do have control of this island. Now the question comes down to, is it close enough? Actually, it is, isn't it? Interesting. So more Dornuses over here. Yeah, these level bombers. What do they actually come equipped with? I mean, they're equipped with radar, 500-pound bombs. The range is 10, okay. Though it might be more reconnaissance craft I'd like to look at. They're running search and ASW around Pearl Harbor. Reconnaissance, I do have these F5A Lightnings. These would be very handy to get into the actual battle itself. So let's go ahead here then. So if I was to have you transferred. So, we'll have you transferred to Johnson Island. From Johnson, you can go to Malayup. Malayup. I can't remember how you bloody pronounce it now. But we could have them then transferred from there to, obviously, Inuatok potentially. Okay, aviation support's okay over here, which is good news. Yeah, I mean, this is brilliant. Just, like, look at these vehicles. Like, each vehicle's worth 4 engineers, which is fantastic. We're a little bit over our troop capacity over here, which is going to increase the supply consumption, but I think we'll be okay with that. At least for the time being. Okay, just look at the sheer amount of force over here. So many. So very bloody many. Okay, the Guam landing force looks as if it's been completed. Let's just double check. Yeah, that force can be loaded up. Unbeknownst the reason, but yeah, we're all good to go here. So the Guam force is going to be setting out now. That's what I need. Yeah, how many men's aboard the Guam force? Yeah, okay. I think what I'm going to do here then is have the Guam force actually tasked for taking control of this island over here. The reason being, if I gain control of that island, I can really shut down the actual transfer of force between Peleliu, Babel, Dwarb, Guam, Saipan, Tinian, that sort of area. It also I mean, what I could do here then is actually build that island up, ideally pretty quickly. I mean, we do have a decent airfield over there. Yeah, so there's size 2 airfield. And what I'd like to do is actually be able to base ground-based fighters, or at least additional fighters we can't get into the battle otherwise. But if I could have them based over Walea, Walea, however the friggin' hell you pronounce it. But if I can have them based over there, I'd imagine they should have enough range to actually support our forces over Guam and Saipan. And this is the thing we've got to bear in mind, is obviously, I don't know if he has kamikaze attacks. I'd imagine potentially so. I can't remember exactly what day Japan gets kamikaze attacks. But either way, I'd like to try and inhibit that. But it would also be good as well, because obviously I could have patrol planes based in this area. It would just mean that we'd have additional support to actually land over here in the Marianas. It'd only take us a couple of days to take the island, then obviously load back up and head back out. It's only size 1 port, but we'd be able to load it decently quickly. I mean, Guam itself is obviously... I mean, this is it, or do we just go for Guam? There is a large force there, though. I suppose the contention comes down to I could take this island over here and it would actually give me the ability to shut down a lot of enemy activity in this area. And I could potentially base level bombers over here as well to actually hit the area. Or of course fighters to escort them in. Or even reconnaissance craft. There's a lot of options. So I think we'll go with that. We do have a couple days to play with before the combined fleet arrives. Hopefully it's the right decision. We can always change our minds on the way over, really. So, Task Force 37. You ought to follow 37. You ought to follow 37. Okay, the Replenishment Task Force is... Right, okay, we've got 12,000 units of fuel here. Plenty more to be loaded. I think you were sent back to be rearmed, weren't you? Right, go back out there and merge once again with Task Force 43. You're patrolling around Pearl Harbor. You're doing a long patrol, you're doing a longer patrol. And then we have this force over here, which I'm going to have sent over... I mean, there's these oilers over here, but... This is it. Do I spend the time to load their fuel? I'll have them stay behind to load up fuel. I was hoping that they would have been able to load more, but seems not. But yeah, I could do with actually getting these engineers to the front lines, because then I could actually quickly expand bases and just expand the amount of aviation support that I actually do have. So I'm going to have them tasked with heading out to We'll talk. There we go. Yeah, we have a lot of aircraft that I do want to actually get into the fight here. And let's take a look at the actual range of, let's say, a Corsair, for example. Right, so the aircraft itself, normal radius is about 10 hexes. I mean, these guys are flying 12 hexes, actually, so I'm going to reduce that down to 10 just to reduce the actual wear and tear of the aircraft. Right, there we go. But yeah. Okay, so they're looking at a normal range of 10 hexes. Also, they can operate out to 12 hexes, but 10 is really what we're looking for here. So if I take a look at the actual distances, I'd have range over Guam, not range over Bombardoir, obviously range over Yap, out of range over Track. Notice if I operated with 12 hexes, I'd have range over Tinian, and I'd have range over Saipan, which is quite important. Now, I think Bombardoir is still out of range, but at 14 hexes, and Peleliu's out of range at 14 hexes. But at 12 hexes, obviously pushing them to their maximum, which obviously would mean that we potentially have more operational losses, but it would mean that I could actually have my bombers from Inuatok escorted. Or this is obviously I need to get bombers into a position where they can actually be of use. Obviously, if I was to use Wale as like an actual base here for the bombers, that would be good. But yeah, and it's like I'd like to have the ability to have fighters out here. Like for example, I could have fighters support naval activity really in a 12 hex radius around here, more or less. Which would be nice. I mean, this is it. It would mean that we'd have additional fighters on station to actually help us out. It'd be very good as well, because we potentially try to deal with enemy air activity. And I think it'd give us license to be a little bit more aggressive in certain circumstances. Now, Guam is a tough one. But those ground forces aren't going anywhere. Hello there, French ferret. French ferret. How you doing there, my dude? Yeah, but yeah, okay, so let's take a look over here then. So obviously he's got the airfield here. And what I could potentially do then is actually pound Guam's airfield into submission. Or we could actually just fly over there with sweeps. But either way, I think we'll take control of this island first. I could then head straight on towards Saipan potentially after. Yeah, the Saipan force is going to head over here to Novotok. But I could use this force over here then to actually begin the first stage of the campaign here against the Marianas. If I could secure that island while my forces are being readied in Novotok, I could then begin to head out to Saipan itself. Perhaps in that time we'd be able to have the island readied for aircraft. I just think it's going to be worthwhile. I just think it'd be a worthwhile option to actually have on the table. Because obviously then I've got an island nearby I can actually use to support the landings. I mean, there's something to be said for like Marcus Island. But that's out of range. Even at the extended range, it's out of range of everything. At least from this position over here, I'd be able to cover all three of the main islands here. Obviously I could cover Rota, but Rota's not exactly a major one. But yeah, I'd have range over Saipan, which is important. And of course we are going to be taking one of these islands anyhow. I mean, another option could be Pagan. As obviously it has a much greater airfield. A larger port as well. The issue is there are, what was that, 3-4 times the number of men there? Yeah, something like 4 times the number of men, maybe more than that. Something of that sort of nature. Obviously we don't have exact information. I think we can consider that one as we do advance. It's like I'd like to actually outnumber the Japanese. I think that would make the battle vastly easier. But yeah, I think Pagan is very close to the enemy front line as well. I think when we do go in there, I want to go in there with some cover, but yeah. I'm going to say this island here. At least then I actually have the ability to subdue the enemy to a degree. But just being able to actually have fighters escort the actual amphibious forces in would be very handy. I could potentially have dive bombers operate from there as well, which would be very handy as well, of course. Obviously being able to give us ASW, just give us some naval attack options there, really. So I think we'll go with that. In all honesty, I mean, the turn's pretty much done here. There's not that much else to be doing. Not until the other forces get closer. But we've had some good activity with the submarine, so that's quite good. Yeah. So the I-10's gone down, Kinakawa Maru. This ship I can't pronounce the name of, and Koshimbaru. Worth a few points over here, which is quite good. Yeah, okay. Trying to build those points up. Let's take a look at the ship availability then. What do we gain next? More transports in a couple of days, which is good news. At least I'll be able to use those. Importantly, LSDs, 2 LSTs, LCIs, APAs, AKAs. Very handy to actually have. Now, ground reinforcement schedule. We're looking at 18 days until the 190th US Air Force Base arrives. Amphibious headquarters here. CEBs. I will eventually gain additional US infantry divisions, but that's going to be some time out there, like 41 days, 54 days, 55 days. I mean, these guys would be very, very powerful. I mean, these divisions are very good. Very good. 205 vehicles, 211 guns. It's a very strong second line. Yeah. HMGs, rifle, combat engineers. I mean, they come with the combat engineers. Engineer vehicles, engineers in there, motorized support, scout cars. It doesn't look as if there's any, like, sort of armored forces in there as such. And we also gain a marine division later as well, which is going to be very handy. Yeah. A little bit there. Lighter on actual units as such. I mean, when it comes to like actual equipment, I don't know. I suppose it's like they're not going to have as much in the way of like vehicles as such. They do have 155 vehicles, but they do have 284 guns, so they do have more infantry guns, I suppose you could call it. Yeah, the US Infantry Division, they don't actually have the 75mm guns, they have the 105mm howitzers, whereas the Marines tend to have, yeah, quite a few 75mm. They only have a couple 105mm and nothing obviously in the 155 range. They do have a 90mm M1A1 AA gun. That's quite good. I wish the Japanese had that. But aye, not bad. We'll take a quick look at what we're expecting in terms of air power. 23 days we'll actually have some more Marianas over at Niwatok. And then these are going to arrive on the escort carriers. Again, at Niwatok and Kwajalein. Yep, so as far as it goes, there's really done right there. So I do hope you guys have enjoyed this. And it's been a very, very short turn here, but this is how the scenarios go, really. So until next time, thank you for watching. I do hope to see you guys again in the future. And if you have enjoyed this, please do consider becoming a patron of mine. That'd be really quite appreciated. Okay, just save it over here. As the funds go towards supporting myself and the channel, and that means like purchasing new books. I've got a new book on the way here today. Can't wait to see it. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to... I need to get around to finishing Warplant Orange, but that's been incredibly insightful. And, yeah, plenty of books in the library to read. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you again later. Goodbye for now, guys. Have a great one.